I'm gonna pass credit on to that to my online effects guy because he stitched those together so well as well.
Why don't you say his name?
Andy.
There you go, Andy.
Alright, we're gonna take a few questions and I gotta get rolling. We're all gonna go see a midnight movie, right?
Did you have to use a translator on set?
Question.
The second question is, so was the script written in English and then translated to Indonesian? And if so, what was the difficulty in doing that?
Yeah, the script was in English first, so I'll spend time writing the script first in English, and then it gets translated into Indonesian by somebody else. And then what we'll do is we'll workshop the script as much as possible with the actors in pre-production in order to kind of iron out any translation issues which are not quite right. We let the actors kind of find like text that fits them that they feel comfortable with. And then in terms of me giving direction, on the first movie, shame to say I didn't really know enough Indonesian, but on this one I learned a lot because I'd spent about a year and a half with just Iko and Yayan, and I picked up a lot of Indonesian from them. Mostly insults, but some good stuff too.
So there was not a lot of improv on this set.
No, it's quite a bit, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I let them have like a certain amount of flexibility and stuff like that. And it's one of those things where I might not understand 100% of every single word that gets said, but because I have context, and I also have a crew that entirely support me, like my assistant director team as well, like I can get by then, it's okay. I'll understand maybe 60-70% of when they improv. So yeah, I'm getting better in Indonesian. Not fluent, but getting better at it. Thank you.
You got time for one more? Yes?
A different process from albums to scores, absolutely. Just a little bit of background, like I've been approached a number of times to do score work. Usually it's like, I know you'll appreciate this, it's like, hey man, we're a huge fan of Linkin Park and we want you to like play a guitar in the score and then we want to put your name really big on it. Like it's just, that's not what I'm. Is that
a band, Linkin Park?
So it's not what I. It's awesome. So, we just stop there. So when these guys came to me, one thing that stood out to me is the Kier from Sony emailed about the project and says, we have this thing and what we like that you've done is your Fort Minor project, a couple of your remixes, he named them off by name, and I thought to myself, like, those were all things that I did for fun.
This guy knows my shit.
Well, the thing is too, it's like I was doing those, like that's the type of thing I do on an afternoon when I've got like some free time and I'm screwing around.
You didn't want your name, you wanted your work.
Yeah, he's a fan of the stuff, you know, and the stuff, more importantly, the stuff that I'm doing in my spare time. And so basically, I jumped on board thinking like this is a great excuse for me to like get some experience in this world and also to do it and have fun. And as it turns out, Gareth, kudos to you. He was very open to the artistic process for us, and just like, maybe you can speak to this, it was just like, there were weeks went by without us even talking to him, because he was just like, no, I want you to do your thing, and come up with whatever you think is right, and then we'll talk about it later. He's not going to like guide us.
Can you speak a little on how you guys separated the work? I mean, like...
Well, Joe has more, yeah.
Well, I mean, we separated somewhat, but a lot of it was a combination of our work. So sometimes, you know, if after watching the film a couple times, I would look at something, oh, I have a great idea for this, and Mike would say, oh, I have a great idea for this scene. We'd go our separate ways and address those, and then we'd come back to the table with those. But there are a lot of other times where Mike would do something, or I would be doing something for a fight scene, and then we'd contact the other person and say, hey, I have this cue to a certain place, but I'm not sure, check it out, see what you think. And we'd interchange files, and then the other person would take it to like the next level. So I would get it. Exactly.
And you know what, and specifically to your point real quick, the difference between writing something for a song for musicians out there who are interested in doing this kind of thing, it's an entirely different thing, because when you're writing a song, it's your own personal story, it's your own honest communication of an emotion or story, whatever, and you get to take it from beginning to end. But in this case, if I do, you know, what sometimes comes naturally to me, which is write stuff that really hooks you in, brings you into a story, even sounds that are very hooky, if I start doing that, it's actually distracting from his movie, and that's the worst thing you can do. I mean, really, there are only a couple of moments when the movie lent itself to that, and everywhere else we had to play a supporting role, so it's important to be
almost like when you're in a band or a solo musician, you're doing that for you. When you're making a film, you're just part of the team.
Right, and yeah, it implies like if you're a rhythm guitar, you're playing a rhythm role, you're playing a background role, you step out, do a solo, and then you step back. You know what I mean, that's really, you gotta play that supporting role most of the time. I think
I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off, but they've been asking me, you've got to close up here, and we were grateful to play in the beautiful, massive. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, you guys rock, and I will always be you all rock. The radio is badass.
And for all those who did like movies, please check out Moda Sam Anamali, new film by Joko Anwar.